Good morning, YouTubers. T Square with T Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great weekend as we're about ready to kick it off. Today, kind of got a something interesting to talk about. It's something I've been thinking a lot about lately. Basically, digits on a screen. I'll be honest. That's probably the easiest way to say it. The money that we see today, it's digits on a screen. A blink of an eye and it can be gone. That's not the same when it comes to precious metals. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. And there's an interesting reason why I'm talking about that. Not just because of, my crypto accounts, but also in returns to silver and the price increases or the price decreases. So we're going to talk about that today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up. I think it's interesting and it pertains to a lot of us because a lot of people are looking at stacking and they're just looking at it from the upside. I mean, it's great when prices of silver goes up, you make a profit. When the prices come down, obviously sometimes it can get a little discouraging. And I think there's going to be a lot of discouraged people this next week. I don't think people really fully understand. Everybody understands that silver has to go up. And you're right, it does. In my personal opinion, silver has nowhere to go but up in the long run. But the short run, we can see a lot of different types of manipulation, whether that be manipulating the data around it, which would be basically like if I was to run a marathon, I say I could win the marathon. I could come in first. Well, yeah, if I'm hand-picking who I'm running against, I'm only going to put people against me that I know I can beat. Bunch of kids, bunch of people with sprained ankles, bunch of overweight people. And, it's inevitable. And why do I say that? Because, everything that we see, the data that we see, we only see and hear the end results. We don't see or hear the results that goes into it. For example, what makes the dollar go up? Well, the dollar is compared against a handful of other currencies that we know what we're up against, and essentially if those currencies were to fall, then the dollar goes up. The dollar gets stronger in terms of those currencies. That's not every currency, that's just those currencies, the handful of currencies that we have chosen to go against. When the Dow Jones goes up or the NASDAQ goes up, that's great, we see that. Hey, the Dow Jones is doing great, but what is the Dow Jones? The Dow Jones is a handful of companies that we've selected, and don't think for a minute that they don't put companies in there and take companies out every year. When a company is performing badly, they usually pull it out and make up some excuse on why we're taking it off of the Dow Jones or why we're taking it out of the NASDAQ or the S&P 500 or whatever the case may be. It's manipulated. And to a certain point, when you can see beyond that, you start realizing that, there's better investments out there. And, when it comes to gold and silver, I see all these comments all the time that says, gold and silver is never going to go up. It's never going to be, I read one the other day, it won't be above 30 in your lifetime. And I can't help to laugh. I mean, it does feel that way sometimes. I'll be honest. Here we are. We just hit almost $26 and then we got nailed back down. Why did we get nailed back down? A huge amount of silver flowed into the London exchange, and we're talking astronomical. We're talking more than basically we sell eagles. When you think about that, we're talking, I think it was like 29 million ounces just flowed in overnight. And, it doesn't even add up. I mean, when you look at some of these numbers, it's just ridiculous. And you can't help to want to laugh because people see that. I mean, can you imagine if I was getting paraded around the country because I just won 3 or 4 different marathons? Well, clearly, if you know me, you know I'm not a marathon runner. All you could eat contest, maybe, but not a marathon runner. So it's interesting that people believe that, and then they lose sight of what's real. I'll be honest. I tell this story to people that I'm good friends with. Not even a month ago, 3 weeks ago, when Shiba, a cryptocurrency that I do buy into, skyrocketed. In one day, I made enough money to buy a new central air system for my house. And I was like, wow, I could take that out and get a new central air system, not even have to worry about anything. Paid in full, just off profits. Drop in the bucket. And literally in a blink of an eye, as I'm sitting there talking about how I don't want a new central air system, I want a whole new house, it literally fell. And it was gone in a blink of an eye. People can't fathom how quick what we have can be taken away from us, whether that's a 401k, whether that's some stocks, some bonds. People believe that, these are good companies. They can't go anywhere. They're always going to be there. Maybe it's the cash in the bank. Maybe you're sitting on a bunch of cash in the bank and you're thinking, oh, that's great. It can't go anywhere. Or you're even thinking, I'll be honest, your silver and gold stack. You got the ounces. They can't be taken away. No, they can't take them away. But they can claim that they're worth $11 an ounce because we've seen that happen. We've seen silver go from 20 to 11. Now, here's the thing. They can't do that forever. It doesn't really change the ounces. You have the ounces. I was talking to someone the other day about my crypto account that I play games with it. To me, it's just a fun gamble. It's like a video game to me, and it's no different than going to the casino. My crypto account, I will flip on a daily basis. If it goes up 2-3%, I'll sell it. I'll take the money out and wait for it to dip back down. Right now, I'm waiting for my investments to come down so I can buy back into the ones I like. And that just means I'm sitting on cash. Aren't you afraid that it could skyrocket? Yes, but I'm also afraid that I could lose it all in a blink of an eye. So I look for these opportunities. But here's the thing. When you're investing in silver or cryptocurrencies, it's not really about the value of the currency or of the silver. It's about your ounces. How many ounces do you have? I got asked today from a friend of mine. He's a brand new stacker, and he said his goal is to get himself 100 ounces. And he asked me, he goes, hey, could I trade you like 5 ounces for a 5-ounce bar? Or I said, you trade whatever you want. I mean, I'll trade with you, especially if you want to trade to a bigger item. I said, why not take a kilo? I said, you're talking roughly 32 ounces, 31 ounces, we'll say, for a nice kilo bar. I said, that's great. He goes, if stuff broke down, could I break that kilo down? I said, you could. I have a forge. It's not something I use anymore. You could break it down. The easiest way is, heat it up and then just drip it. Basically, just drip it out into water and then scoop up all the little pellets. And then you have essentially silver shot. I wouldn't want to do that. I'd rather have something that's already stamped and looks cool, because it does bring a cool effect to it. I mean, you take something even like this Christmas tree one right here. I mean, tell me that doesn't look cool. I mean, no matter what happens to silver, this is a nice coin. People would like that. People would look at that and they'd be like, wow, that's cool. That's like a Christmas present in itself. And it is. But the thing I want people to understand is it's not the number that they place on it that you're buying it for. Like I said, it's a good feeling when silver jumps up to $26. But then when they beat it down, it's a negative feeling. But I don't really feel anything about it. And I don't, because I still have the ounces that I had. I'm looking to get more ounces. I know I'm going to get more ounces if they beat the price down. I could never acquire the amount of silver that I have if silver was at an honest standard. You think about it, in the old days, people would work for a denarius. That's basically the size of a silver dime, probably even a little smaller. A silver dime. You'd work all day to get one silver dime. But then when you look at all this, and this ain't even a lot. I mean, there's people out there that have, who knows what they have. I mean, and people just need to see and understand that the number that's affiliated with them is just a number. It can change overnight, especially when you start looking into currencies Pick a currency. I started using a great app. It takes all the currencies and it compares silver, and then it charts it on a daily basis. So I can see the dollar to silver chart, but I can go and see the Chinese yuan to silver chart, the British pound to silver, the Japanese yen. Is it yen? Man, how did I forget what the Japanese use? To silver, the Mexican peso, whatever you want. You can compare it to silver or gold. And it shows you the breakdown. You see that the currencies compared to silver in every country is basically skyrocketing. You're seeing silver just go up. It's taking more and more currency to get ounces of silver. But you know where it's not happening yet? It's not really happening here in the U.S. It's happening with gold a little bit now. We're starting to see it. But we're not seeing it with silver. It's inevitable that it's coming. Now, I know somebody out there is going to be like, I thought you said you were holding off on buying. You're right, I am. I'm holding off 10 more days, and we're talking a week, or until silver falls to the number that I'm looking for. It's not going to happen over the weekend. We saw a great dollar beat down the other day. We saw the DXY get stronger. We didn't really see gold really get pounded. Don't be surprised if next week we have a day where the dollar gets stronger and then all of a sudden gold takes a hit. Because the truth of the matter is, if gold goes down, a lot of the time you see silver come down with it. They don't know why gold went down and silver follows. They just assume if gold's going down, well, silver's right behind it. Well, what about when gold's going up? Why don't they assume that silver's going up right behind it? They take that for granted. And once you realize these things, it just puts everything in a whole nother perspective. It's ounces you're after. If you're not into silver or gold, and you're into cryptocurrencies, it's coins you're after. How much can you get? The price that we put on this stuff is not important. It's just a benchmark, because the truth of the matter is, you could take this bar to any country in the world and get a different currency for it, which means this is the world currency, gold and silver. And some people, I don't often put out any kind of religious things, but you know how they always say there'll be one world money in the Bible? You've read scriptures on that about a one world money. There could be a one world money, and it could be called silver and gold. Everybody thinks that it will be Bitcoin or one of these other things, and maybe it will be. Because I'll be honest, it's a little harder to control silver and gold, but a lot of people believe in silver and gold. Yes, people believe in Bitcoin until the power goes out, but and this is not about Bitcoin or silver. It's just about focusing on what's real and what's not. The real number is how many ounces you have, how many coins you have. The fake number is the price that they put on it, the manipulated value of a piece of paper. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave me a comment, hit that thumbs up button, and I hope to see you guys again tomorrow morning. So take care, everybody, and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.